thought leader, teacher, advocate, change agent, and a legend in the field of aging services. These are the words his colleagues use to describe Msgr Charles Fahey. A priest of the Diocese of Syracuse, New York, and emeritus professor at Fordham University, Msgr Fahey has been an inspirational model to many in healthcare and social services. Over the last half-century, he has been a leading advocate for the elderly and a major voice of compassion in public policy development. His pastoral work as a priest, his hands-on practical experience in social services, and his scholarly knowledge have shaped the national and international discourse on aging. From 1961 to 1979, he directed Catholic charities in the Diocese of Syracuse, where he was instrumental in opening 5 diocesan nursing homes and creating the Christopher Community, a specialized housing development for the elderly and persons with disabilities. He was a charter member of the Federal Council on Aging, serving under Presidents Nixon, Ford, and Carter, and a member of the National Commission on Quality and Long-Term Care. He served as spokesperson for the Holy See at the 1982 World Assembly on Aging and as a delegate to the 2005 White House Conference on Aging. This visionary elder statesman has been instrumental in shaping the institutions and individuals who care for the elderly, as well as the discourse on aging services in the face of changing demographics, economics, and politics. With a constant focus on the needs of the individual being served, he has dedicated his life to promoting Catholic values in the care of persons throughout the lifespan.
Can I tell you a story? And you cut this out, but I was in a parish 2 years in Syracuse, New York, which I loved. And one day in a snowstorm, I came back from a funeral, and the pastor was something of a curmudgeon and said, "The bishop wants to see you immediately." Oh? So I put my coat on, the snow is about 4 feet deep, shovel my car out, go down to the chancery office, and the bishop's priest secretary says, "Oh yeah, Bishop Fahey will see you immediately, and for heaven's sake, don't say no." The pastor having said to me firmly, "For heaven's sake, say no." So my anxiety level is rather high. I walk down the hall and the bishop says to me, "Father Fahey, you're a good priest. You've been doing well at St. Vincent's, but let's see, this is Friday. Monday you'll begin in Catholic Charities. You'll find Monsignor Lawler to be a fine person to work with. You'll live at 672 West Onondaga Street with 5 other priests. I have another appointment. God bless you." That's how we did discernment in 1961. So that's why I went into Catholic Charities. And in our diocese, Charities was sort of an umbrella organization, including not only social services, but also health care and long-term care. Just the engagement with patients, residents, staff. I mean, I'm never more a priest than when I'm doing these kinds of things. And so it's a great deal of emotional satisfaction, but it's also just being true to my vocation. The growing lack of concern about the impact of public policy on older persons, particularly the poor among them, is very disconcerting. I don't think it's it's just a lack of sensitivity to it. One of the problems with growing old is that in addition to the progressive intermittent frailty is the loss of people that are closest to us. So you can have 2 people that look exactly alike. One is frail and the other isn't, depending on, do they have a spouse, do they have anybody who cares, what kind of a neighborhood do they live in, do they have access to groceries, can they get into the healthcare system, do they have somebody to shovel the snow. There are all of these kind of things that are integral to decency. So the more and more we can integrate older people into communities and give them the means to be able to negotiate that which they need, that's what I would want. And they, by the way, would build a different kind of care system, different kind of health system than we have today, which has come from the top down, not the bottom up.